So this is part of the property that I really wanted to show y'all. Y'all let me know if y'all know what type of tree that is that I just circled. But basically you see the change in the layout. During the winter, it's typically flooding in. The majority of this left side of the property. But look what happens when you get to the spring and summer. You have all of that foliage and greenery. All those nutrients are coming in from the winter, and look at all that. So I can't wait to get some goats or pigs or something out there, or just to create a better permaculture environment as far as spacing out those trees better. But you can just tell the difference as far as the topography of the layout concerning when it was flooding in, and now as you see that the swamp water in the creek has subsided. So I guess during the summer and spring, it's pretty dry back there. It doesn't have a continuous flow of water, but you see what happens, like what it leaves behind is all that nice, rich greenery, and I just love this. And this is what I thought initially when I found the property. I wasn't realizing that it does flood in, but I'm actually liking this concept as far as being able to duck hunt during the winter months, and I can put in some temporary fencing, or y'all give me suggestions. What would y'all do with it? And I'm about to get off the four-wheeler in a minute, and you'll see as I walk the property as far as what I'm referring to, as far as the fodder left over from the nutrient dense water that was flowing in there, in and out. But just check this out. Yeah, check out all this greenery up in here. It's almost like a silvopasture. It's just not thin out enough, I guess. But all this area during the winter, I'm now seeing how this layout is. Like during the winter, all this area floods out and brings in all kinds of nutrients. And this is the left side of the property, by the way. This is the side of the property that is typically swampy. Previously, that I did a video on, but just look at all this vegetation up in here. Like if I were to put goats out here, I think they would do well. Even pigs, especially pigs, like I'd say. But just look at all this vegetation. And I think what happens is, since it floods out during the winter, it brings in so many nutrients that when the spring hits, everything starts to subside, and then that's what you have here, is just all this nutrient dense area. So it's really pretty cool. Now it's getting late in the day, so it's pretty cool in here. But just look at all this nice vegetation. And there's the swamp in the back. Now typically this whole area had been flooding out, and when I first viewed the property, it was like this. It was all green. There was no flooding or anything, so I just assumed that that's how it was year round, but it just needs that canopy just needs to be open a little bit more to let some of the light in. And I think this whole area right here would just spring up. Let's see. I'm trying to think where I think I want to cross over here. It's just not getting that much sunlight in some parts of it, and you can tell the difference. But where the sun is able to come in, it is definitely bringing a lot of vegetation. So I was thinking I could do like a seasonal hog pen, or put up some temporary fencing for either goats or pigs in this particular part of the area. You can see it's the water is not flowing like it was. But this is pretty neat back here. Look at this. Further up, it's just all grasses up in there. But that's pretty cool. It's like its own silvopasture. So if I were to, and I'm sure I definitely will, thin this out at some point. Just so I can be able to utilize this part of the landscape, which I actually like it. Like if I were wanting to do some duck hunting in the winter, I can do that. And then I can raise sheep. I'm sorry, not sheep, but goats and pigs in the warmer months. Y'all check that tree out right there. It has just been hammered by woodpeckers and insects. And something like that, I would just leave it alone. Just let nature just enjoy it. I wouldn't even touch it. Plus, it just looks so neat. It looks like it's like a natural artifact. But yes, pretty neat. Just trying to watch out for snakes while I'm up in here, because this looks like it would be prime snake real estate. But yeah, I still plan on putting some trails out here, especially knowing that it dries out in the summer, in the spring and the summer. Then definitely I'm gonna make some trails throughout here, some ATV trails and ride. But you see, it's this little area right here. The canopy opened up a little bit, and just from that you could just tell the difference between the vegetation. This is so neat. It reminds me of like a rainforest or something. The video doesn't really do it justice. You see how more light is coming in on this side? Now, I don't know what type of weeds or plants this is, but y'all let me know, would this be edible for pigs? For goats? You can see it's all green. And I think what I would do, if this is the way this property goes, then what I think I would do is like plant some seed early on after the water subsided. That way you can get more of a variety of fodder for the livestock. But you see, even in this part, like it turns into like ferns. You can see these ferns growing. So neat. It's such a neat part of the property. And I actually love this. I love the idea of a flooded timber, even though it would kill a lot of the trees, I think. Hopefully not, but I do love the idea of flooded timber to duck hunt during the winter. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just look at a previous video, and I'll leave it probably in the comments as well what video I'm referring to, but it was flooded all the way up to like up here. It was like flooded, and it stayed flooded the entire winter. Water was flowing into this part of the property the entire time. There was fish in it, so it was like a foot deep in some spots and then deeper in others, so maybe 2 feet in some spots. And then I didn't get further out because I didn't put any waders on or anything, but now it's dry. You can tell it just dries out, and whatever nutrients the water brings in here, it just lays here and it just greens up. Like up in there, it really gets green, like with some actual grasses and everything else. So it's pretty cool. I just wanted to share y'all that right quick. As we get closer to the evening, but it's pretty dark in here, and actually it's a lot cooler in here than it is in the cleared part of the property. But I just wanted to share that with y'all. Look at this. I think this is a cedar tree coming up. It's such a diverse group of trees and plants. Like here's some grasses. But yeah, I just wanted to let y'all know what was going on as far as the landscaping here. And this just excites me more and more. And it would be easier to fence in this part of the property, as far as putting some temporary fencing in, some hot wire fencing, and and just growing out some feeder pigs or some goats. I'm curious to how thick it will eventually get in here during the summer months, but I like this. It's like a silver pasture. Lego. Y'all check this out. I wanted to show y'all this where I almost died. So I was going full throttle down the front side of this field, going towards this way towards the coverts. And for whatever reason, the front brakes weren't braking like they should have. And to avoid these coverts over here, I tried to turn, but I was still going like full throttle. And y'all check this out. I was on two wheels. You can see where my four-wheeler went. And I hit this tree hard. I almost flipped it. But I cracked this tree hard, yo. I could have lost my life, thank God. He saved me. All I got is a bruised up leg out of that ordeal. So what happened is, once I tried to brake, I tried to find my rear brake pedal, but I couldn't find it because I was on like two wheels, making this turn right here. And I was trying to stay on it at the same time. So I was gripping the actual throttle. I couldn't let go of the throttle, and it pushed me right into that tree right there. It didn't knock me off of it, but you could see I was hitting it when I hit. And you could tell by the damage on this tree how fast I was going, or at least how hard I hit. So I'm thinking, then this, split seconds. Then those split seconds, I thought, oof. At first I thought I was gonna flip it, and my foot actually ended up on the ground. I was on two wheels coming in here. And I didn't damage my four-wheeler. It scuffed it up pretty good, but I think that'll come out. But it didn't damage the plastic or anything, the lights, the light housing, nothing. So thank you, Jesus, for having your angels encamped around me in that turn, because that could have ended bad. I could have flipped over the handlebars. It could have flipped on me. Anything. But once again, God covers me with his blood. Thank you, Jesus. But I just wanted to share that with y'all. Just be careful when y'all on these heavy machines. All right, have a good one. Appreciate it. Thank you. That's my landscaper leaving. He just cut my grass, got me right. So tomorrow or this weekend, I'm gonna have to go out and try to spray those 2 acres. I need an ATV sprayer to mount on the back while I'm doing it, because it's a lot of land to try to, well, it's 2 acres, but it takes so long. You don't realize how much an acre of land is until you're actually walking it or doing work on it. I noticed that with my lawnmower. I got a riding lawnmower, but it's not a zero turn or anything. And it takes me so long to cut 2 acres. So, but yeah, I just wanted to share that testimony with y'all that typically when you hit a tree, you know, it doesn't end bad. I don't have any broken bones. I just have a broken ego and I'm sorry, not broken, but a bruised leg. But it'll heal. I'm sure I'll feel it tomorrow more. It hurts, but I'm alive. I'm not bleeding or anything, surprisingly. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with y'all. Just be careful out here. If y'all do have four-wheelers or side-by-sides or anything like that, just be careful with what you're doing. Because I only had a couple of seconds to think as far as what I do, as far as trying to avoid those big culverts, and I ended up hitting the throttle by accident, and I'm trying to hang on at the same time and keep from not flipping over, so I couldn't take my hand off that throttle, and I hit it hard, so, which you can all see. But I'm not damaged, and my ride, she ain't damaged either, so thank you, Jesus.